If you've been gardening long enough, you already know the frustration of a bed that just won't bounce back. You amend it, you mulch it, you feed it, and somehow it still feels tired, flat and slow. Now, here's the part that pulls people in every time. During the early and mid-20th century, there was a soil additive so effective at reviving dead, compacted, nutrient-starved beds that farmers swore they could watch plants perk up in real time. It worked fast, it worked reliably, and it turned fields around within days. And yet, it was eventually banned. What most growers don't realize is that a completely safe modern alternative exists today. One that delivers the same powerful result without the risks that cause the original to disappear. By the time you finish this guide, you'll understand why this old remedy mattered so much, and how you can legally and safely recreate its effects in your backyard. So let's dive in, because this is the kind of forgotten agricultural wisdom that deserves a place in every serious grower's toolkit. The original additive worked because it supercharged microbial life. The banned additive was sodium nitrate, widely known as Chilean nitrate. It wasn't banned everywhere, but many countries restricted or phased it out because of environmental concerns. Before regulations tightened, farmers used it to jolt poor soils back to life with astonishing speed. The secret wasn't actually the nitrate itself, but what that nitrate did for soil biology. The moment it hit the ground, it fed the first wave of bacteria, which in turn fueled explosive microbial activity. The soil suddenly warmed, loosened, and aerated because microbes were multiplying fast enough to physically change the structure of the soil. Within a week, beds looked different. Within 2 weeks, they behaved differently. That is what growers valued. The biological ignition effect. These days, we really don't need the old chemical to spark that same kind of biological awakening in our gardens. The safe, modern alternative? Well, it's alfalfa meal. Unlike that nitrate additive, alfalfa meal isn't a synthetic shock to the system. It's actually a biological stimulant, packed with triacontanol, a natural plant growth compound that wakes up those microbial communities just like Chilean nitrate did in the past, but without the worries about runoff or environmental baggage. When you mix alfalfa meal into tired, exhausted soil and water it in thoroughly, it heats the bed through microbial fermentation. That warmth, that's the sign that biology is coming alive again. And if you don't have access to alfalfa meal, well, fresh grass clippings can do the trick too, though it's a bit milder. Remember, the goal here is to ignite microbial life, not to force feed with fertilizer. To apply it, you work 1 to 2 handfuls of alfalfa meal per square foot into the top 6 inches of soil. Then you want to water it heavily so the microbes have moisture to spread. Over the next 3 days, the bed will warm, soften, and become easier to crumble. By day 7, most growers notice the same change farmers described in the nitrate era. Plants sit more upright, new growth appears faster, and roots push deeper. One of the reasons the old nitrate treatment worked so abruptly is that it created conditions where microbes didn't just feed. They multiplied rapidly because the soil had enough oxygen. Many gardeners today have compost, amendments, and nutrients, but they lack oxygen where it counts. Before adding any stimulant, it helps to loosen the soil with a broad fork or a garden fork, not by tilling, but by lifting and cracking the subsurface layers. You don't flip the soil, you just open it. This gives microbes room to colonize. Applying the alfalfa right after loosening the soil recreates a miniature version of the frontier-era nitrate response. Microbes surge, the soil warms, and structure shifts in days instead of months. This is how you revive a bed that's been chemically burned, compacted by heavy rain, or exhausted by repeated planting. If you want to push this method to its full potential, you can create what growers call a fermentation cap. After working in the alfalfa meal and watering heavily, cover the bed with cardboard or a thick layer of damp straw. This traps heat and humidity exactly the way old nitrate-treated beds naturally did. The microbial bloom intensifies. In 1 week, the soil feels springy instead of dead. In 2 weeks, it's ready for planting, as though it rested all winter. A practical example. If you have a tomato bed that underperformed last season, remove the old vines, loosen the soil with a fork, mix in alfalfa meal, water deeply, then cover with cardboard for 5 to 7 days. When you pull the cardboard back, the soil will be warm, dark, and noticeably more alive. Planting into that bed is like planting into a freshly composted field. So, the lesson from the banned additive really is that soil responds fast when biology is fed and activated. The takeaway isn't that we should go back to old chemicals. It's that the farmers who relied on them understood something modern gardeners sometimes forget. Soil is not passive. It reacts to stimulation, and when you wake up its biology, everything above ground accelerates. The banned additive proved just how quickly soil could transform when biology was pushed into high gear. The natural methods we use today prove, without a doubt, that we can achieve the same results safely and sustainably. If you found this guide useful and want, more deep dives into forgotten agricultural wisdom and practical backyard skills, make sure to subscribe to Backyard Wisdom and share this video with someone who loves history and hands-on knowledge as much as you do.